The Marcellus Shale was seen as a gift, a fix for federal debts and state deficits, the unfavorable imbalance in international trade, high unemployment rates, global wars driven in part by perceived threats to supplies of foreign oil, and uncertainties of climate change. Gas exploration and development in New York and Pennsylvania, once the niche for small and mid-sized independent drilling operators, suddenly factored into the long-term strategic plans of the world's largest companies. For industry supporters who touted domestic gas production as the road to energy independence and economic revival, drill baby drill was the rallying cry. The careers of many industry supporters were tied, by way of reputation or investment, to the trillion-dollar Marcellus find. For these stakeholders, projections of wealth beneath the land provided a starting point for building a case that Marcellus exploitation would benefit not just industry chiefs, money managers, and researchers, but also patriots, environmentalists, and the working class. Sure, there would be landowners such as Ken Ely who could expect to make a lifetime income from royalties, but there would be many more like Scott Ely, Ken's son, who could expect a good job where there once was none. It was a magnificent pitch, but verifying these expectations was tricky. Natural gas burns cleaner than coal, but it also produces unknown amounts of methane, a powerful greenhouse gas, along with certain toxic gases, hydrocarbons, and other releases exempt from federal regulatory provisions. Trade-offs between benefit and risks remained a point of contention, speculation, and opinion, as did notions of winners and losers. An industry-funded report affiliated with Penn State projected between 8,000 and 9,000 predominantly blue-collar Marcellus jobs would be created by 2013 in a 14-county area in central and northern Pennsylvania. Lost in the fine print was this. After critics pointed out flaws and conflicts of interest in the report, the university issued a disclaimer stating that no parties from the university warranted its accuracy, completeness, or usefulness. Despite the demand for answers, Christian Harris, a senior economist for the New York State Department of Labor, told me that it was hard to project Marcellus jobs in New York because there were so many uncertainties about its future, including unresolved regulatory issues and market factors. But industry proponents and critics both noted a trend as drilling ramped up in Pennsylvania in 2008. The majority of workers on the drilling rigs were from out of state. The jobs that were most demanding were the hardest to fill. These included roustabouts, entry-level workers who, like their namesake in the carnival business, set up equipment before operations began and broke it down before moving it all to a new site, and roughnecks who operated the rigs. Both jobs require physical endurance and strength and long stretches away from family and friends. 12-hour shifts in all kinds of weather are typical. Roustabouts and roughnecks often work 14 days straight before leaving the area for a break of 1 or 2 weeks. They are stationed for months or years in one region, some housed temporarily in man camps or sharing rental properties or hotel rooms before moving on. Entry-level wages for roughnecks and roustabouts generally range between $15 and $20 an hour. These were considered short-term jobs created during the boom cycle of development. There was great uncertainty about how long they would last. One of the truest believers in the merit of shale gas development was Dewey Decker, a farmer in upstate New York who became a millionaire after leasing his land to XTO Energy for shale gas exploration, only to see development held up by his state's uncertainty over regulations, compounded by strong opposition from industry critics. To Decker, agriculture, like mineral extraction, timbering, and manufacturing, was a fundamental element of national independence. He was sure that the United States could operate these industries more responsibly and effectively than the nations from which it imported goods in such great quantities. And he sensed a double standard among critics that, in his mind at least, reinforced his own position. People removed from the land like the luxuries afforded by the extraction industries as long as they don't have to look too closely from where they come. unconventional shale gas extraction, and the controversial process of hydraulic fracking unfolding in Americans' backyards was now forcing people to take a good hard look. And Decker was irritated with environmentalists, in his mind radicals who were concerned only about their neck of the woods. Nobody wants to have water wells blow up, he said, but compare gas production in this country to Russia or China and what they do to the poor people over there.